Hi everyone, welcome to Emily Everything. I'm Emily Allison, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make country style biscuits in a skillet. But before we go and do that, I would love to invite you to subscribe to my channel Emily Everything, and please hit the like button and ring that little bell. If I had an extra hand I would say ding ding, ring that bell so that you can be notified when I make new videos. Let me show you how to make these biscuits.
Okay, so we have got all of our ingredients here. We've got 2 cups of flour. I've used all-purpose whole wheat flour for this recipe, but you can use any kind of flour you'd like. I've got a 1/4 cup of oil there. I've got 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, as well as 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using the Himalayan pink salt, and it's got a little bit of kelp flakes in there as well, but you can use whatever kind of salt you want. And then I've got 1 cup and 1/4 of plain yogurt, and that's pretty much all you need. If you want to grate cheese, you can grate cheese in there and make cheese biscuits. I've got the oven turned on to 350 degrees, boom, and yeah, let's start mixing. Okay, so we're going to take all the dry ingredients and whisk them all together with a handy dandy whisk, and just incorporate all the dry ingredients together. Okay, and then we'll take the yogurt and get that all in there. I'd use a spatula. I will use a spatula to get the rest. I just am holding the camera with one hand, so cooking with one hand. That's why I portioned everything out. Okay, so then here's our oil. Cooking oil, you can use coconut oil, olive oil, whatever oil you've got kicking around. This is country style biscuits. We're not fancy or fussy. We're just gonna make some biscuits so we can put some jam on them. Okay, so then we're gonna mix that all together. And then I've got an extra little bit of flour here that we're gonna sprinkle on our surface to roll the dough out. So, and it's not really rolling out, it's just more of making shapes, but just so that it doesn't stick to the counter, I always like to have a little to sprinkle onto the counter and make sure your counter is nice and clean. Okay, so I'm going to mix all this up, and then we will show you the next step. Alright, this is what it looks like after it's been all incorporated together, and you don't want to overmix. That's the key with light and fluffy biscuits, is you don't want to overmix it, because then you're making the gluten really come out and it's going to be like glue, right? So you want to just make it just so that it's all incorporated enough. And then I'm going to, on my clean surface, just sprinkle some flour, and then I can get my dough out on there. So we'll show you in the next step. All right, so we've got airplanes going on above. I've got my water heater on, so you can hear that sort of sound in the background. Don't mind at all. We're just gonna carry on. Sprinkle a little bit of flour on top of your dough once you get it out of the bowl, because you're gonna use your hands and it's gonna get super sticky. So basically, get a little bit on your hands, and then you're gonna just bring your dough into a ball, sort of pat it out like that, and then flip it over as best you can with one hand. Because there doesn't need to be too much going on here. Okay, so I flipped the dough over, and then I just patted it out with my hands and just sort of tucked in the corners and made sure there was no like open splits in the sides. And then I've got a little pile of sugar here, and I've got my pan here ready to go. Now this is how we're going to cut. I just rub it in a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. And then we're just going to go like right to the edge, so that we're going to use as much as we possibly can. And then cut our little biscuits and place them in the pan and fit as many around in a circle as you can. You might have to do 2 batches. And it doesn't really matter if they're not perfect, because that's the fun part of baking, is that the imperfection of it all. And you're going to get dirty, and that's the fun. Like, feel the dough. It's kind of fun to play with. It's about having fun in the kitchen. These are going to be so delicious. I've got some blackberry jam from the berries we harvested on the farm this summer. I even have a little bit of cherry jam left over from early in the season. Yeah, we're just gonna tuck these guys in. They're gonna puff up a little bit and probably all join together, and it'll be fun to just break them apart when I take them out of the oven. And if the cup gets sticky, just rub it in a little bit more flour so it pops out. There we go. I sound like I'm out of breath. I'm so excited about making biscuits today. I don't know, we might be able to fit one more. There we go. And it doesn't matter, again, it doesn't matter what shape they are. They don't have to be perfectly round. Okay. We'll fit one more in. Looks like we're gonna have to do 2 batches, and that's fine by me. There's lots to share. Okay, so then we're gonna take these and pop them in the oven. Do this one-handed. Can we see the flames down there? Oh yeah, it's nice and warm. Okay. So we're gonna pop that in the oven. There we go. In you go, guys. And that's gonna go in for, I think it's 15 minutes. We'll put a timer on. Okay, so I just cranked up my oven to 450. That's as high as it goes before I turn it down to broil, but you want it to be 475. And then I'm just putting my kitchen timer on for 12 minutes. There we go. Okay, so I've got 4 little biscuits left to go. As you can see, I have wiped up and done all my washing because I like to clean as you go. It's a really good thing to do. It just really helps keep yourself organized. We've got about 6 minutes almost left on these beautiful biscuits. I can't wait to show you. Okay, we're gonna have a little peek. It's been 12 minutes. Let's have a look and see. Our biscuits are getting there, but as you can see in the middle, they're not quite done yet. So we need a little bit longer, and I think that's because, whoopsies, that's because my stove isn't at 475. So we're gonna put it on for another 5 minutes. Okay, I've just pulled these out of the oven. They are golden brown and look absolutely amazing. Oh, there's my timer. And yeah, we're gonna just put these last 4 little guys in there and get them all cooked up, and then we will butter them up with some jam. So I decided to use the cast iron pan because I just want to let these sit in there because they're happy there. I don't want to have to move them around. And you can totally use a cast iron pan, like a nice deep skillet. And we'll just pop those in the oven. I changed the, I moved it up 1 level because it was burning the bottoms and cooking them too fast. So I'll just put that straight in the oven. And just make sure that you check yours because you never know. Just check and see if they're golden brown on the top like that. Because depending on your elevation and what kind of oven you're using, obviously mine is propane here, so it might be a little bit different. So I would put the timer on for 12 minutes and then sort of check it and add 5 minutes here or there if you need to. Okay guys, I've just taken out the second batch from the oven and of course triggered the fire alarm. But well, crisis averted, nothing got burned, everything is wonderful. You can see the bottoms of them are a little bit toastier than I'd like. But yeah, and I've got some blackberry jam and butter on these ones here. You can use honey, all sorts of wonderful things. I'm just using, you can use a tea towel, but it's always good to cover up your biscuits so that they don't dry out. That will keep them nice and soft. And then, yeah, share them with friends. Enjoy.
All right, so now you guys know how to make country-style biscuits in a skillet. They're super easy, and I love that they're made with yogurt because it makes them nice and light and fluffy. And yeah, this is just a little view of the farm where I live and work. It's such a beautiful, warm autumn day, and the leaves are starting to turn in the trees. And I don't even need a sweater, which is really great. And we're building some stairs in the background, so you can hear a skill saw running. So I will sign off for now, but before I go, please like and subscribe to Emily Everything. I'm Emily Allison, and we will see you in the next video. Ciao for now.